Hey everybody, this is Kaboom, and today I'm going to show you how to make custom spiral stairs. This game does have spiral stairs like these right here that are really cool, but there's only a couple variants in the colors, and they're all going to the right like this. So if you wanted to build a set of stairs that's going to the left up to, I don't know, let's say you have a nice build that you want some spiral stairs going up to the doors, you're going to have a problem putting in one side. What I did is I took a circle building method from Bernie Builds. He posted some really cool circles and how to make them in our Discord server. If you'd like to see more of his builds and other builds in the community and be inspired, be sure to join the Craftopia Discord server, link in the description. With that circle method, I was wondering, can I use this to build spiral stairs? So I jumped in this world and I practiced with a whole bunch of different stuff, and I was like, oh man, I really want to make a video on this, but there is a lot of stuff that I could share, and I really could get lost in the weeds. So I'm not going to show you all the options. I'm going to give you the techniques and some of the basic overviews, tips and tricks on what I did to make this work, and then hopefully you can take that into your world, use your build sets and whatever style you're building with, and add these to it. Also, if you stick around to the end, I'll show you guys the big project that I'm working on up there. And if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed for more content like this. Okay, step one. I recommend building the staircase first and then building your main building off of it. It will be a lot easier for you in the long run. You can add this to an existing building. It's just a little bit difficult, and I would recommend building this a few times and understanding the principles of how to build it before you try to add it onto another building. But it is possible. Let me go ahead and get started here. We got a 4x4 floor down here. This doesn't matter. This piece is going to come out. We're going to grab this free spinning swivel, and we're going to center it right there in the middle. And now we need to talk about pieces and cosmetics and looks. So real quick, let me actually jump back over here real quick and show you over here. Okay, so this here is a 16 stud spiral staircase going up, and the middle piece that I had in the middle here, I used a 12. Now, I wanted to show you this because what I really want to show you is this middle section and how they're all kind of on top of each other. As you go up, you can see that there's just a little bitty hole here where these pieces have formed a hole. The size of that hole is going to be based on the pieces that you put on top and how close you bring them in. So this is all math that you need to do and kind of figure out before you start your build. As you can see over here on this one, there is no hole. It actually is all right here in the centerpiece. And I was able to do that because I adjusted my starting distance. So let me go ahead and show you guys that back over there. Let's go ahead and grab this 4x4x2 and stick that down. All right, so that's our center point right there. Now, I'll just going to tell you guys these 16s and these 12s go together very nicely on these stairs. So if you are building, if you want that center to be closed up, you're going to go ahead, what you're going to want to do is grab a 12. We're going to go ahead and do this build with the daily bugle pieces. Go ahead and put that down there. It's going to snap in. This will not... I don't know, for some reason these pieces won't snap in underneath the floors, but if you get another wall piece, it'll snap under. So now that we're snapped under, you can see we're flush underneath it. We're going to come 3 spaces towards me. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to place it down. Now, let's go ahead for the sake of a demonstration. Let me put this here. And then let me grab this 16 and put it here. And bring it all the way in like this. So as you can see, if you were to go and put these 16s on, going all the way up, you would have yourself a pretty nice staircase going all the way up. And let's say, oh, you know what, let's just say, I want a little bit of a hole over there in the center. Well, you could switch to a 12, and then as you're going up around about that distance there, going around in a circle, that's how big your hole is going to be, right there in the middle. So this is something you're going to want to think about as you're going up. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of all this stuff, and then let's get started with the build. For this build, I am going to use these daily bugle pieces, and I think I'm going to use these daily bugle floors. I like that blue. I've been having a lot of fun playing around with different combinations. We've done all our math, and we've figured out that we want to use a 12 here for our arm. We're going to grab the wall we're using, and we're going to go ahead and snap it right there on the end like this. And this is where a lot of your work's going to happen as you're building. And there will be a lot of removing and replacing things. Just warn you up front, it will take a minute when you first get started, but when you get into the rhythm, it'll start going a lot faster. Also, always be checking as you go, because you don't want to actually mess up a step and get halfway through and realize, oh no, I have got to go back and fix that. All right, so what we're going to do is snap in here. We're going to come 3 towards us. 1, 2, 3. As you can see, this thing is square right now, coming straight out. We want this block to actually be lower in the ground. We want it almost flush with the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a couple temporary blocks. This is a temp. And then let's go ahead and we're going to put in 3. We're going to put in 3 more blocks, and the last block will actually be the one that stays. So we're going to snap into here. And now is probably a good time to talk about this, your spacing. So you can do, what I like to do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now this is probably the easiest spacing to work with. You can go 2 by 2, but it gets a lot trickier. Right here, if you don't have this perfectly on a 2 by 2, you will end up having issues with your floor. It's doable. I built some over there. It is doable, but I would definitely not recommend doing it first. So, you know what? Let me actually just show you what the 2 by 2 looks like before we go any further. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. And then your second piece, you're gonna actually put on there. You're gonna move it over like that. That's gonna help this hit this piece so it doesn't go flying through. And then you're gonna push it. And you're gonna make sure, you're gonna double check and make sure that that is there, right there. Now, this is the extra step in this method, and this is where things can get wonky, out of line, and messed up. So with that being said, I'm gonna show it so you have it as a tool in your toolbox, and if you want to try it, you can. So, all right, we're gonna knock this out, and we'll knock this out. Be very careful not to knock both of them out. You don't want this thing to move. That's what you're fighting against. Now we're gonna snap under there. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna bring it in. Now we're gonna look, and oh my gosh, look how close that is. That is so close. All right. So as you can see here, it's just doesn't give you much room to work with. So with that being said, I'm gonna go back to the 3 by 3. Alrighty, let's get back to the build. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna place this down. Now remember, these next couple in this first one are temporary. So we're gonna grab here, 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna grab on here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now this is actually our first permanent block. We're gonna snap this in here like this. Go 1, 2, 3. And now we're gonna knock this one out, and this one out. We're actually gonna knock this out too. Now we're gonna take a floor piece and we're gonna put it up here. We wanna bring it right level with the top of that. Then we're gonna grab our wall piece and we're gonna snap it in there, bringing that piece down 1 floor size. So now we're gonna come over here again. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna push this in. And now what we're basically doing is bringing this floor back down so it's flusher to the ground. Now we're gonna actually, on this, we're gonna go 1, 2 over. And now we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. So we got our angle off of this piece and our height off of that piece, and then we brought it over here. As you can see, it should be exactly 1 floor lower than this one. Now we can knock this one out, that out. We're gonna knock that out, and then we're gonna add another floor, and then we're gonna add another wall. Now we're gonna snap into here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Push that in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Remove the pieces, add a floor, add a wall. And then now we're gonna snap onto here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And now we have our floor starting right here, lined up on that 45. And that piece is right there, like this. Now we're gonna go ahead and work this up around. We can go ahead and knock this off now. And these floors. All right, we're gonna snap a floor on there. And then we're gonna add our wall. That's gonna bring it up one. Now we're gonna let's push that around. Whee! Okay, now we're gonna snap in here like this. Go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And eventually these will stick out of the ground far enough where you don't need that second piece. So we're gonna push that in, make sure there's no gap there, make sure it looks good. Now we can just snap in onto that wall like this. 1, 2, 3, and then there we go. So basically what you're doing is you're gonna knock this out, and then you're gonna knock that out, and then you're gonna add a floor, and then you're gonna add your wall back on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think that we're high enough now. And then we're just gonna push that over like that. Look, make sure we're good. Snap in. 1, 2, 3, and then place. Now, we're gonna go ahead and work this all the way around until we get to the point where this will no longer stick in the ground. And at that point, I'll show you the trick on how to get those pieces into the ground so you can go around even higher. Time for a time lapse. All right, so I actually got to the point now where I can actually use a thruster to help me out here. So let me show you guys that real quick. This will save you so much time from hopping around. But once you've gotten this up out of the ground a little bit and you know it's going to hit, you're going to throw a thruster on over there and then a switch there on this side. What that's going to allow you to do is use the switch and keep you from having to play hop, skip, and a jump all the time, and will really help increase your progress on putting these in. And as you can see, I'm also checking these as I go, because if you get one of these off, all the rest following will be off. So just make sure you're triple checking that each one of these is at the right height. Okay, we've gotten to the point where our piece that we're pulling off is no longer low enough to stick in the ground. So we actually have to lower our piece down and then attach a piece to it. All right, we're gonna come to the other side here. We're gonna attach a floor piece on top. Now we're gonna grab our walls and we're gonna go ahead and attach 2 of these to bring it down. And now we should be able to pull off that bottom wall piece and have our piece actually anchored into the ground. And we should have the angle that we need. And then we'll place the piece on top. There we go. And now we'll check it. Looks good. This is where things can mess up, so always take your time and just double check this. Here we're gonna snap in down on the lower piece now that we put in, and we're gonna use it to pull off our 3x3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And put a second piece on top. Now we can remove these 2 top pieces and we go ahead and bring that floor down, make it a little easier to work with. Because now we need to raise this up. We'll remove this and then we'll smack this bottom floor piece off. So we brought this whole thing up 1 floor length, or 1 floor height. And now we moved it into place. Now we're going to pull off of this and get our bottom block in. And then we're going to go ahead and put another piece on top. And just double checking, make sure everything looks right. Because this is where things can get a little wonky if you're not careful. If you want, you can take some pieces here and put them on top. And that might help you visualize and show you whether or not you have gotten off or not. As you can see, all my pieces are snapping in. And they all look good. Now we're going to go ahead and put another floor up here. And this is what we're going to do. We're just going to work our way around, raising the floor up and then knocking these 2 pieces out. Be very careful you don't knock the wrong piece out. There we go. Now we got that piece in. And we're just going to continue moving this around until we get to the end. Okay, so now you can see that the wall here is flush with that bottom floor piece. So this is actually the last piece that we need to do this method with. So let's go ahead and put this in. And then we can come over here and we can actually knock all this out now. So we're now at the height where we can go back to what we were doing before over here. Okay, now we're going to place a wall up there like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, you're going to want to double check this and make sure it's good to go, because this is also a place you can get off on your measurements. 1, 2, 3. And then we snap one in there like that. And then we'll just come up here, put a board in. And if there's no gap, you are good to go. And now at this point, we just go back to what we were doing over there. So we'll just knock this out. Put down a floor. Put down a wall. And basically repeat what we've been doing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here is our last piece we're putting in. And then we're going to go ahead and knock that out. And we're going to leave this open. Feels like a little door. Let's go ahead and get rid of all this stuff. All right, so now let's go ahead. Let me show you the different floor sizes. So depending on the look you're going for, these are the different sizes. This is the different shapes. Again, you can start off making the center smaller and bigger, wider, longer, a lot of different variations that you can go with on this build. I personally like bringing my boards into the center like this. I feel like it makes it look like it's solid, but I definitely think there could be some possibilities where you'd want like a circle here in the middle, and that might also look pretty good. So first off, if you're still watching up to this point, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and fly up here. Let me show you guys this big project that I'm working on. So this is a spiral dome I was working on. Really thought it'd be cool if I could build something that I could run up and around, but I got to figure out how the crossover is going to work, where I go from this level to this level, because I got to kind of merge those two together. So we're going to see, we'll see what that looks like here in a little bit. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you like doing spiral staircases and you enjoy LEGO Fortnite Odyssey, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and may the bricks always snap in your favor. And until next time, bye!